Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Bam Woman Magazine. But we are doing a special edition called Bam Guy Magazine, and we have some amazing men that we have spotlighted in this magazine. And we want to make sure that you guys get in the loop because these are some amazing men. They're doing their things, they are kings in their communities. So, I have one here with me right now, Mr. Darnell Rice. He's going to introduce himself. He's going to tell you what he does and what service he provides. So, Mr. Rice, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. I am humbled and definitely appreciative of this opportunity.
Yeah.
Of course, I just want to go into a storytelling phase because I think
Okay.
the stories
Let's
is
hear it.
very powerful when you're talking to people. So I remember growing up as a kid, I had some intergenerational trauma. I
Mhm.
was a child of two parents, but at the time it was one. My father passed away at 4 years old, and I started to have different issues around, poverty,
Mhm.
racism, access. My mom, she had a boyfriend that was in a domestic violence relationship. So I had to learn how to navigate, how to be able to try to find a safe space.
Mhm.
But until I had a person that was supposed to protect me, but until that person violated me.
Mm.
So that little boy was me.
Mhm.
Okay. And I was, I was assaulted at 6 years old.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm gonna tell you something, being a little boy, especially the first 6 years of your life, is the most important years.
Right.
And I struggled for so many years, academically, socially, and also mentally and physically.
Mhm.
And so I started an initiative called Embrace Elevate. Embrace
Mhm.
Elevate is a initiative where we work with communities of color, but our focus is Black and brown boys and men of color in
Mhm.
regards to sexual violence and rape. We talk about, healthy and unhealthy relationships, and we also talk about healing as well. We also train professionals to be advocates against sexual violence because
Mhm.
we know, especially in our communities, the Black and brown community, we don't talk about it. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we don't have a safe space. We don't have somewhere where we can go and talk about it and have a release.
Mhm.
That's why Embrace was born. Because I wanted to make sure that the little boy would be able to heal and not hurt anyone else.
Right.
Believe it or not, the CDC states that 1 in 6 boys will be sexually assaulted before the age of 18. I want to
Mm.
speak to all my mothers out there. If you have sons, protect them at all cost
Mm.
because it's important that boys, and men of color have the safe space. Because I remember when I was victimized at 6 years old, I didn't have a place to go. I didn't have
Mm.
a place to say this is what's happening to me right now.
Mhm.
So I was dealing with, sexual violence. I was dealing with poverty. I was dealing with emotional abuse and also physical abuse. So when I created this initiative, I knew I had to tell somebody.
Mhm.
So I remember when I was in a storytelling um, program, and I was the only man of color on stage, and I was able to share my story and my truth of what happened to me as a child. And you know what? The first time I was able to share my truth on the stage, that's
Wow.
why storytelling is so important, especially
Mhm.
when you're connecting with people, because people need to know, they don't need to know your wins. They need to know your losses and how you were able to heal and navigate and be able to help other black men
Right.
and other boys as well. So that's embrace. Embrace
Right.
is survivor led. And what we do is our creed is you're not a victim, you're a victor. I am a champion. Because believe it or not, just because I have blemishes doesn't mean
Mhm.
I'm damaged goods.
That's good. That is so good. Oh my gosh. Listen, I when you said that statistic about a man or boy being raped before they're 18, that hit home for me because I think a lot of times we hear about the girls and the females, the women,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't hear
Yes.
about the boys. We don't hear about the men that are violated at such a young age. And
Mm-hmm.
I commend you for stepping out and telling your story because your story is going to save someone else's life. And I know that sex trafficking and all of this is an issue, but we don't talk enough about it. I don't know why that is. Do you have any thoughts about why it's such a taboo topic?
Well, it's like this. When you can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can
Okay.
hear you.
All right.
There we
So
go.
when you think about, okay, I just want to make sure technical difficulties, but I'm gonna tell you why. Because as a man, as a black man, we feel isolated and we feel unsupported. When
Mm,
I would if I told my my significant other or girlfriend or what have you, if I told her, hey, I've been sexually assaulted. Oh, you a man, you supposed to hold on, stop the brakes.
right. Hmm.
We don't talk about it because of that stigma, because it's taboo. We don't talk about it. We
Right.
don't have a platform to talk about it. That's the reason why I created Embrace for
Hmm.
survivors, to have that platform, to be able to get tools and resources in their community, but also national resources as well, to
Right.
help them start the healing process. I am 42 years, well, I'll be 42 on August
Hmm.
3rd. And I'm going to tell you like this, I've been through so much in my life, but here's the thing. Like I said, I look to my faith, I look to
Hmm.
my support system, but most of all, I start to go to therapy. Therapy may look different to other people. There's
Hmm.
different types of therapy. You got to find therapy that's good for you, but
Right.
you gotta be open and vulnerable. And that's what I
Right.
would tell, survivors. I would tell also, you know, loved ones that support survivors of sexual violence. Number one, start by believing.
Hmm.
Number two, don't be judgmental,
Right.
because we gotta always make sure that we honor the person's values, honor them, honor their space. Always believe them until they tell you otherwise, because 2% of reports of sexual violence are false.
Hmm.
So if a person tells you nine times out of 10, if they tell you, hey, listen, I have been sexually assaulted, believe them,
Wow. Wow.
because you can save their life. You can save their life. I'm gonna tell you like this: embrace, embrace is for for also they're for men of color, black and brown boys. I have to start with them first,
Hmm.
because right now in the climate that we're in right now, when you talk about racism, police brutality, they're killing our young men. and they're killing
Right.
our men as well. So we got to make sure that we take care of the head,
Right.
because we're supposed to provide, protect, and be the priest.
Mm-hmm.
Because we want to make sure that we equip the men and the brown and black boys. So then once we equip them, then we'll be able to equip their women in their life,
Wow.
the
Oh
mothers,
my
the aunts, the
goodness.
wives, the
Yes.
girlfriends. That's what we have to do.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you like this. As a survivor, I am for survivors of color. I am for the people. I'm a community organizer and an activist, and this is
Mm-hmm.
dear to my heart because I don't want another little boy that grows up to be 40 or 50 or 60 years old
Mm-hmm.
and that lives in silence and suffers in silence as it relates to sexual violence and rape.
Right.
I
Now,
had a gentleman to go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, with okay, because you say you do the little black and brown children, men and boys. Is there a particular community that it affects the most that you've noticed since you've been doing it? Like, would it be more in the suburb, or would it be more in rural areas? Like, is there a particular area, or is it?
I'm gonna tell you like this. It's 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 in a lot of different areas, especially in our
Mhm.
inner cities.
Wow.
Our urban areas, it's rampant. It's running rampant in our urban areas. Um, and I'm gonna tell you another population that it hurts as well. When you talk about the LGBTQ+1 community, the disability community, it affects those as well.
Oh wow. Huh.
Because when you think about it, when you think about LGBTQ+1 community, they're ostracized so much. They're victimized.
Right.
They're victimized much higher than a heterosexual male.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately.
So yes, unfortunately, but embrace is here for, like I said, men of color, black
Mhm.
boys, black and brown boys.
Mhm.
So we address the disability community. We address the LGBTQ+1 community.
Mhm.
We address that. Because here's the thing. At the end of the day, whether you are a gay man, a heterosexual man, you still a man, and
Right.
you will get victimized. Think about in the prison system.
Mm.
It runs rampant in the prison system as well. Even in it runs rampant. So those are some of the populations that it affects,
Mhm.
but it's not a lot of resources in a lot
Right.
of these different communities. My goal for Embrace Elevate is to expand. I'm going to scale
Yeah.
to
So
other
where are you
cities.
located right now?
I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, but I live
Mhm.
here in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So yeah, we need more embrace, elevate in all the states. I would like to see that in all 50 states because there are so many boys, so many men that are battling with this. And let me ask you
Mm-hmm.
this. Do you feel that a lot of the men that decide, or they go into the gay relationships, do you feel that they are doing it because of what happened to them at a young age?
Yes, because think about it like this. Say, for instance, when I was victimized by a female.
Hmm. Wow.
So to get away from the pain, I'm just hypothetically speaking, I would
Hmm.
go to a different sex to get comfort and
Gotcha.
acceptance.
Gotcha. Wow. Oh my goodness.
So when you think about it even on the ladies. I can't speak for the ladies, but what I'm saying
Right.
is I'm just making a general statement.
Mm-hmm.
Disclaimer. A lot of times if a woman has been victimized by a male,
Mm-hmm.
she may start dating females.
Right. Thinking that all men are going to be like that. Yeah.
Thinking all men are going to be like that. Your process of healing may be
Mm-hmm.
6 months, a year, 2 years, lifelong.
Yeah.
It depends on the level of trauma you've experienced. When you think about sexual violence, it ties into mental health too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh man. I just it's a tough subject to talk about and to discuss, but it's something that is needed, especially in our world today, because there's so many teenagers that are holding in information because of fear of retaliation or fear of, being talked about or
Rejection,
rejection. Yes. Oh my
judgment,
goodness.
yeah, all of the above. So for embrace, elevate,
Mhm.
it's here. It
It's a
started
safe.
in 2019. Yes, and I will scale. Yeah, I'm speaking into that. I will scale.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
already looking at other cities to scale to.
Wow.
We're looking at scaling in predominantly black and brown neighborhoods
Hmm.
because we got to reach our people where they are. I'm not
Right.
going to be in the suburbs, no.
Yeah.
And so actually right now I'm getting ready to looking at doing a tour, a college tour in
Hmm.
Texas,
Okay.
East Texas. So I'm working on that with with BAM. So we're looking at
Yes.
doing a partnership to where we can do, do that. Yes.
That would be awesome. We would love to be a part of this because people need to know. I think people, when they don't know something, it's almost like they are just, they're ignorant to it. And once they figure out, hey, this resource is available to me, then we start to grow, then we start to flourish, and then our communities are better. And man, I'm just I'm sorry. I'm blown away
Yeah.
because I'm just like, man, this is crazy. How something
Yeah. So mhm.
I'm go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But I just want to let you know that the statistics, they don't, because it goes unreported. We don't report as a community,
Yeah,
but also as men of color and black and brown boys. When
right.
you think about when you're victimized, you're traumatized. Okay.
Hmm.
So when you're
Hmm.
traumatized, you don't some of us don't have a support system.
Right.
That's why it's so important that we train just people like you and I.
Hmm.
You, myself, anybody can be an advocate against sexual violence.
Right.
Anybody.
Right.
I can train anybody to be an advocate against sexual violence. But all I ask the person is to do is be receptive and be open.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, it is a it's a tough topic to talk about because of the feeling of rejection or judgment, or what are they going to do with this information about me, that type of vibe. And not just
Right.
with women, but with men
Mhm.
too. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so deep. There's so many layers to this particular topic, and we don't want to put
Yes.
anybody out there,
Mhm.
or we don't want to hurt anybody's
Mhm.
feelings, but this is something that needs to be talked about. And Embrace is a company that is going to
Yes.
expose a lot of people. And I mean, it doesn't matter if it was your dad, your stepdad, your grandfather, your grandmother, your mother. I mean, people are out here just they're doing this stuff,
Mhm.
and it needs to be corrected. It needs to be corrected. So I commend you for
Yeah, and
and
I'm gonna
now
say
what
this.
are some of,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
thank you. No, but I'm gonna say this too. Um, we're not Embrace is not here to hurt anyone.
Right.
We're here to educate and provide awareness, but also provide safe
Mhm.
space and also a healing, the road to healing for that
Yes.
person. Because at the end of the day, you gotta heal. We cannot heal if we still holding on. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'll be 42 all third. I'm still on my healing journey. So just to
Mm.
let you know, my ACEs score, which is adverse childhood experience, is a so technically, by statistically, I'm not supposed to be here.
Wow. Hmm.
So so God has allowed me to create, embrace, elevate, to help the communities of color and men of color and black and brown. Because at the end of the day, we got to be the best version of ourselves, and we got to make sure that we take care of our families.
Right. Absolutely.
Because hurt people hurt people.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And there's so much healing that needs to go around. Yeah. Our generation, our communities, they're hurting right now, and they need to heal. They definitely need to heal. Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit. Now, you did talk about, family and um
Yeah,
being being a part of a family. So let's talk about you, Mr. Darnell. What do you Are you married? Do you have children? If you do have children, what legacy do you want to leave for them?
so right now, I am in a relationship,
Mhm.
and three is three children,
Okay.
and we going through the process and everything. So I do have a son,
Mhm.
but I am fighting this for DNA to make sure that that's my son. So I'm just
Gotcha.
being as transparent as possible. So I'm
Yeah.
fighting that battle.
Okay. But you'll win. No worries. Look, don't even worry about that.
So,
You will win.
oh yeah,
You
you know
will win.
what? I put it in God's hands,
Yeah.
in God, and I'm a man of faith, and that's just the have, Jennifer. Like,
Yeah.
I've been through so much in my life that a lot of people like, man, how get resilience, hope, and
Mhm.
determination.
Mhm.
You said you want to know about the man, so I work for a national grassroots organization, the Fest Project. We work
Mhm.
with men of color and black boys and families on health awareness. We train barbers on, how to be advocates against mental illness.
Mhm.
Okay, and we train them on four principles. So we just finished a tour from LA to San Francisco. So that's my day job, but it's
Gotcha.
also a mission. Like I said, this work is purposeful work, but it's honorable work.
Right.
You have to
Right.
continuously take care of yourself every day. You have to do self-care. You have to make sure you get enough rest. Make sure you do, if you got to do therapy, make sure you talk to someone, have a small circle. That's the man behind the man. I also worked in the prison system, college professor. Um, like I said, I'm a man of many hats. So, um, but embrace is my baby, and
Yeah.
it's to you gotta cultivate that baby. You gotta take care of that. You gotta nurture that baby. You
Right.
gotta feed the baby. You
Yes.
gotta honor the
Nurture.
baby.
Yes.
You gotta
Absolutely.
do all those things. You have to.
Absolutely. So in growing that baby,
Yeah,
and
I'm
with
not a
COVID,
flashy
let me ask you, with
man.
the COVID that has gone on,
Mhm.
like, have you had to shift gears or take a different approach with how you do the service, or how you
Yes.
do the program?
Hmm.
What changes have you had to make?
So I'm gonna tell you like this. So right now, I had to pivot, which I've had to go and do online trainings.
Mhm.
I've had to create a Facebook group to interact with, with survivors.
Mhm.
I've had to make that shift from in person to virtual, but I'm getting ready to go back into in person trainings sessions for the students. But
Mhm.
I got to get back out there right now. So I'm
Right.
actually this summer. That's why I'm working on this tour for the fall.
Mhm.
I can go ahead and start doing in person, presentations and also trainings. But I want to let you know too that if you have any church organizations that I work with clergy too as well, training them how to be advocates against sexual violence as well, and also
Mhm.
teaching them about behind the veil, how to keep themselves out of scandal.
Ooh, yes. Oh, that's deep. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a good one, because there's a lot of
Because
controversy
yeah,
behind ministers and priests and all of that. So yeah, that is very much needed for sure.
right, right. But here's the thing though, when you think about it, they are men of
Mhm.
faith and women of faith. You got
Mhm.
the pastor, of course, you got his team, but then you have the parishioners. So when you think about the church and you think about how the church is constructed,
Mhm.
when you have people coming into the church, guess what? They have trauma.
Right.
So they're coming into the church and they have trauma. So that trauma reflects off onto others in the congregation. That's why you have a lot of strife, a lot of different things that go on in the church because everybody's dealing with their own trauma.
Mhm.
So when it comes to the pastor, everybody's after the pastor. The women, the men. So they have to safeguard themselves of how to stay out of scandal, but also be prepared to effectively help their parishioners as it relates to trauma, sexual trauma,
Right.
mental trauma, emotional trauma. They'll be well prepared for those
Mhm.
conversations and have the resources available.
Right.
So if you know of any churches that need this type of training, let me know because
Oh yeah.
because in Black church we need to have these conversations, but we need to have resources that are available because people are not going to the church.
Right. Trust. I listen, I know. And that is, I feel, is a part of the judgment and rejection. And what are they gonna say about me? How are they gonna talk about me? And we gotta get past that, because there are, like you said, people that come to the church, or because they have trauma. The church is the hospital. That's why you go to church, to get
Exactly.
healing, to get saved, to get what you
Right.
need to get
It's
through that trauma.
mhm,
But
right.
yeah, yeah, that is so true. That is so true. So okay,
So with things said, it's like we,
go ahead.
hello,
Can you hear
hello.
me?
No, go ahead. I was listening to you.
Oh, no, no, no. I was waiting on you to jump back in there.
Mhm. Okay. So I was gonna say that if you, what else you wanted to ask me or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was going to put out there, I ask everybody that comes on that I interview what nuggets, what advice, what is something that you wish you could have gotten from someone when you were going through building Embrace, Elevate. What advice would you give to someone getting started and wanting to do something like you're doing, just to help them get through and keep pushing?
Well, I would say, first of all, get connected to Embrace Elevate. And then on top of that, just have your support system, stay engaged, and start to find out where you need to start in your healing process, because we have to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important that you give yourself grace and mercy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because I
Absolutely.
have to give myself grace and mercy every single day. And I would also let the survivor know that they're not alone. They're not.
Right. That's good. I like that. That is so good. Okay, so how can people get in contact with you? Do you have a website, an email, phone number, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything that you
Yeah,
want to put out there for the world to
I got it.
contact you
Yes,
about Embrace?
yeah, I got, yes. www.embraceelevate.com. Also on Instagram, embrace_elevate.
Mhm.
And also on Facebook. You can reach out to me in the Embrace You Survivors Support Group. If you know any survivors that need support, have them contact me there. I'm shooting a lot of content and videos, dropping just different nuggets in my videos on Instagram and also on Facebook. So you can also reach me on email, embraceelevate44@gmail.com.
Awesome.
And also you can reach me at 682-552-0938. That's also a Texas number.
Awesome. All right, Darnell. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was amazing speaking with you and just learning a little bit. I mean, because I know, like I said, this is a pretty big onion. There's a lot of layers to this particular topic, but I appreciate you peeling back just a few of those, just so that the people can get to know you and what you do and how you can help them in their community. So I appreciate your time, sir. Is there anything else that you want to share with our BAM Woman viewers?
Yes. I just, like I said, I just want everyone to know, all the ladies that have the men in their lives and boys, protect them at all costs.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, Mr. Rice. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was definitely a pleasure. Y'all make sure y'all get this magazine because all of his information will be in there. Everything that you need to know about how to contact him and how to get involved with this amazing program is going to be in the magazine. So, Bam Guy Magazine is on the shelves today. I'm so excited. So thank you so much, Mr. Rice. We appreciate you and we are behind you 100%. All
And
the
I
things
got
you
my copy.
do, let us know.
All right. And I'm gonna say, I want to give a shout out to all BAM women. We honor you, we love you, we support you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, guys, that is our time. I will see you all later. Peace out.